Hello, Ghosties. I'm Chance Lee.
And I'm Amanda McAvoy.
And this is That's So Gothic, a movie podcast about girls, guys, and haunted houses. And today, it's Barbie, bitch.
Hey, Barbie. Can I come to your house tonight?
Sure. I don't have anything big planned, just a giant blowout party with all the Barbies and planned choreography and a bespoke song. You should stop by.
So cool.
You can find me under the lights, diamonds under my eyes.
This is the best day ever.
It is the best day ever. So is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and every day from now until forever. Do you guys ever think about dying?
When my heart breaks,
Some things have been happening that might be related.
when my world shakes.
Cold shower, falling off my roof, and my heels are on the ground. What do I have to do?
You have to go to the real world. You can go back to your regular life, or you can know the truth about the universe. The choice is now yours.
The first one, the high heel.
You have to want to know, okay? Do it again.
Closer I am to find. Closer I am to find.
I'm coming with you.
Okay.
Wow, this is the real world. What's going on? Why are these men looking at me?
Yeah, they're also staring at me.
Barbie in the real world. That's impossible.
If this got out, this could mean extremely weird things for our world. This would be catastrophic!
We haven't played with Barbie since we were like 5 years old. Oh.
No one rests until this doll is back in a box.
Even if nobody else sings along.
Humans only have one ending.
Get that Barbie!
Ideas live forever.
No, I won't let you do just one appendectomy,
But I'm a man.
but not a doctor.
Can I talk to a doctor?
You are talking to a doctor.
I need a clicky pen?
No.
A sharp thing?
No.
There he is. Doctor!
Somebody get security.
Is Barbie if you still in doubt?
Released in 2023, Barbie was directed by Greta Gerwig, with a script written by Gerwig and Noah Baumbach. It stars Margot Robbie as Barbie, Ryan Gosling as Ken, America Ferrera as Gloria, Issa Rae as Barbie, Hari Nef as Barbie, Simu as Ken, Michael Cera as Alan, and many more people.
Mhm.
Will Ferrell is in this.
Yes.
I'd almost forgotten he was in this when I rewatched it.
Yeah, agreed.
That says more about his plot line than him, but
Yeah.
Barbie had a budget of around $130 million, and it has grossed almost $1.5 billion worldwide.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, this is the most popular movie we've probably ever talked about.
Mhm.
It has an 88% critical tomato and an 83% audience tomato.
Hmm.
And Christy Lemire, who's one of the most quoted critics on That's So Gothic, she also reviewed Lady Macbeth, The Boy, and the Suspiria remake.
Yeah.
She gave Barbie 3.5 stars out of 4.
Oh, Christy.
Yeah, that should
glad
be a
you had a
bonus
good
Gothic.
time.
Christy Lemire reviewed it. It's a bonus.
Honestly.
It's a bonus Gothic. She's on the Gothic beat. We are doing this because we wanted this to be our Oscar special, similar to the way Elvis was last year. And then the Oscars didn't quite go as the way people thought they would for Barbie.
No, yeah. Disappointingly.
Yeah, neither Greta Gerwig nor Margot Robbie were nominated. It
Yeah.
did get nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
And supporting actor for Ryan Gosling and supporting actress for America Ferrera.
Mhm.
And it's nominated for costume design, production design. 2 songs are nominated.
Yeah.
What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish and I'm Just Ken. And I read that 3 Barbie songs were shortlisted, but according to the Academy rules, only 2 can be nominated for a movie.
Interesting. That would have been a great Barbie sweep if they had gotten 3 songs. Yeah.
I know. I was really bummed. The 3rd one was Dua Lipa's Dance the Night.
I was gonna assume it was that one, and I love Dula Peep. She's great.
I
But I
love Dua
like the other
Lipa
2
as well.
songs more. So
I love this one. I like one that I can dance to, and I like
yes.
how the clap clap from the song is
Mm,
used for the transitions throughout the whole movie really
yes.
smartly.
Yeah. And actually, that's one of the few like sort of behind the scenes things that quite frankly I really have ever watched for a movie. I'm not the best at doing my behind the scenes research like you are, but it was Mark Ronson who like produced that song with Dua Lipa, and their process was like really interesting. I won't get into it too much, but I guess I didn't know that much about how music was written for movies before I watched that. And yeah, it just ended up being really cool that they got to incorporate it so much into the movie. But with that said, I'm Just Ken is an iconic song. It's so good. It's so good. I love Ryan Gosling in musical roles. He needs to do more of them.
He's really good in this movie.
Hmm.
I I like him a lot. I feel like the movies I like him in are movies where he doesn't talk a lot, so it was funny
Yes.
to watch him in a movie where he doesn't shut up.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I agree.
He has range. He can talk and he can
Hmm.
not talk.
And he can sing.
And he can sing, yes. He was a wasn't he a Mouseketeer
I think he was. Yeah, he was.
in like
Him
Britney
and
era?
Justin Timberlake were like living together for a while as
Oh,
kids because Justin was from Canada. So he like moved in with, or maybe, oh no, it's the other way around. I'm sorry. Ryan
oh,
Gosling
I was
is
about to say, I
Canadian.
thought
Yes. And so he was living with like Justin Timberlake's family or whatever during part of that.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you see some of the influence.
Justin Timberlake's definitely a real life Ken.
Yeah. But like a really shitty one.
Yeah, one of the
Like,
bad ones.
like no charisma. I'm sorry. I don't like, and this was even before Britney Spears's whole thing. Like, I just don't like Justin Timberlake.
No, I'm not a fan.
Anyways.
and then and then weirdly the movie's nominated for best adapted screenplay.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
Like, what did it adapt? The text on a Barbie box?
Right? Like, have you ever seen any of the old Barbie animated movies?
I must say that is a gap in my cinema
Yeah,
knowledge history.
I can tell you for a fact none of them have this plot line. So I don't know where they're getting that from. I don't think that this is, following The Princess and the Pauper or
Yeah,
Barbie Swan Lake.
yeah, most of those are like Barbie does public domain, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Barbie is Rapunzel. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed out on those.
You didn't miss too much, don't worry. In my
Well,
opinion, sorry.
well, let's talk about the cast a little bit because I feel like
Mhm.
we've got people that we've never talked about and may never talk about. So we might as well have this opportunity. Um, Human Barbie herself, Margot
Yep.
Robbie, is the perfect. They couldn't make this movie until Margot Robbie was like born and got to
Yes.
this age. Like that's what we were
Yes.
waiting for.
That is exactly right. She does just such a phenomenal job. I mean, obviously she looks the part. Like her facial features are just so doll-like. It's incredible. And she also just plays the character so well. She has like such this great like bubbly sweetness about her, but she can really play like sad and distraught too. I mean, she's just incredible.
she's really good. I do think she deserved to be nominated. She's a
Agreed.
fantastic actor, and
Hmm.
she has such great comedic timing in
She
this.
really does. Yeah. I know, we're not going to get too much into like the super finer details of the movie, but when I rewatched this for technically the third time, I saw this twice in theaters and then
Oh,
once, yeah, outside of theaters. And so that last time was pretty recently. There were so many like little moments that like, I saw in theaters and I probably chuckled at, but I think watching it at home just like I was like, that is so good and so funny. And it's the part where Barbie's crying and someone because those teenage girls call her a fascist. And she goes, I don't control commerce or the flow of like the economy, or I don't remember exactly what the line is, but she delivers it so earnestly. It's phenomenal. She should have gotten an Oscar nom right there, right then. She's so good.
I first saw her in I, Tanya, which
Oh, that's the first one.
that's the first time I had ever seen her. I had
Yeah.
heard of this Margot Robbie person, but
Hmm.
I hadn't seen. I think by that point she had been in Wolf of Wall Street
Yeah.
and maybe a Suicide Squad by that point. She might have been in a
Mm.
Harley Quinn role,
Yeah.
but Tanya, she's very good in that as well
She's
because she's
wonderful.
deranged
Yeah.
and and crazy. And I love a hot woman going crazy, and
Yes.
she's very good at that.
She is very good at that. I agree.
And then, did you ever see Babylon?
I haven't seen that. No. I know it got like mixed reviews, and I feel like people are talking about it more fondly now that we're getting further away from it.
It's it's a movie. It's like a capital M movie, but not
Okay.
the movie you think it. Or, it's not the movie I thought it was because
Yeah.
I think it got Oscar nominations, and I think
Yeah.
it had some like critical acclaim. But within the first
Hmm.
5 minutes of this movie, an elephant like diarrhea shits all over a guy's face,
Oh my
and
God.
I was like, "Well, I'm in. I'm in."
Yeah.
I did
Right.
not know that was going to happen. And then the opening scene takes place at this house party, and the scene goes on for so long. I would
Mm.
say 30 to 45 minutes. I
Wow.
I was wondering if the whole movie was going to take place at this one night at this one party.
Yeah. Crazy.
But Margot Robbie's great in it. Her
Yeah.
character is exceptionally deranged,
Ooh.
and the plot of the movie is Singing in the Rain. It's the transition from silent to talkies,
Right.
and they even have a part where a group sings Singing in the Rain in the
Oh,
movie.
great. Yeah.
And the whole movie is predictable and not there's no plot, there's no character
Yeah.
development. You
Hmm.
can I really enjoyed getting drunk and watching Babylon because you
Yeah.
can zone out and come back, and
Oh, I
it
love
doesn't
that.
matter. It's a
Huh.
series of skits. Each skit is practically a Looney Tunes cartoon, like, you know exactly where it's gonna go.
Yep.
It doesn't make it any less enjoyable. And
Huh.
then Brad Pitt is in it, and I found him really bad in it.
Mm.
Um, to tie it back to Barbie, there's a Dua Lipa meme of her dancing
Oh
very
yeah, the
poorly and
bad
looking
dancing.
bored. Yeah. And
Yeah.
they say, "Go on, girl, give us nothing." And
Yes.
that's what Brad Pitt is doing in Babylon. He is giving nothing.
Yes. Go on, girl. Give
Mhm.
us nothing.
But I think it's a highlight of Margot Robbie's, like, career. I've seen her in a few things by
Really?
this point. I she's like a big draw for me to a
Yeah,
movie.
I agree. I agree. She's wonderful. I Tanya was great. I did see Wolf of Wall Street. Um, I never watched the original Suicide Squad, but the one that she's in afterwards is really and because she had her own Harley Quinn movie that was actually really, really fun.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, she is like I saw something recently, someone talking about how there's no more like, movie stars. Like, we're
Mm.
out of the age of like movie stars. And like I would have to strongly disagree because I think Margot Robbie is a like capital, like you said, capital M movie, like a capital M movie star. Like she is just so great and talented. And I feel like she picks really good roles. And I, actually, I can't even almost say that like she's picks great roles. It's just like these roles, like you kind of said about how like Barbie couldn't be made if it wasn't for her being alive at this point. Like roles are just like materialized for her. Like they just build up around her somehow, and she does such a good job.
I agree with all those points.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone in the history of movies like that could have played Barbie.
Right. Seriously. No. Like like
And I've thought about
stereotypical
this for a
Barbie.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Could not happen.
And you're right that she is. I think I recently, I don't know if this is what you were referring to, but saw Natalie Portman talking about the death of the movie star.
It might
And
have been in relation to that, yeah.
and I do think you're right though, Margot Robbie is one of the remaining stars.
Right, right. And she's not like, I won't get into it too much, but like she's not this huge like tabloid presence. Like
Mhm.
she kind of keeps to herself, but like she's one of those, actresses who people feel really endeared to her and like hope
Mhm.
that she's doing well and like picks
Yes.
good roles. And like you said, I think for a lot of people, she's a draw to a movie now. Like she's like on the caliber of like a Meryl Streep, even though Meryl Streep has picked some real stinkers. Um, sorry, Meryl. But yeah, like she is part of the experience.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see where her career goes.
Yeah, yeah. I know she said, and it made me really sad. Like, I'm sure you might have seen it. Like after Barbie, when she was doing a lot of the press, like she kind of said something about how she was thinking about taking some time off because she thought people might be sick of seeing her. And I was
Oh,
like, oh, the exact opposite. I want you in everything. I want
I want
you
more of her.
hosting X Factor. I want you like I want to see you like get your own reality show. Like I want you in I was gonna say a Marvel movie, but I don't like I want her everywhere. I want her everywhere.
I wonder how much money Marvel has offered her.
Oh, it's gotta be buttloads.
And that's fascinating that you say that because they try to get their tentacles into everyone.
Yes, yeah. Oh, because I also like I forgot she was in that oh my god, Tarantino movie. I'm completely
Oh,
blanking.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she was the best part of that movie, hands down.
She's so good
Um,
in that. I actually
yeah,
like Brad Pitt in that movie.
yes, I do too.
And I normally don't like Leonardo DiCaprio, and I like him in that
Mm,
movie too. I like that movie in general.
I like that movie a lot. Yeah,
But
but
she
she
is a
was my
she's a
favorite part.
treat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love when she goes to watch her movie.
Yes, yeah. Oh, I feel like you could if I was more in tune with it and had thought about it, I feel like you could tie that scene into Barbie pretty well. Like this
Mm.
very like meta thing of watching yourself on the screen.
Well, it's interesting to I'll try to tie it in because I think you
Okay.
have.
Yeah, please.
Talking about her being a star, like Barbie is iconic.
Yeah.
And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, she's playing Sharon Tate, who was the
Mhm.
biggest star at the time.
Yep.
And then even with Babylon is about her wanting to be a movie star. So she's
Yeah.
taking these star caliber roles
Right.
as well. So it works with her persona.
Absolutely.
And then we also have Ryan Gosling, who's the other big
Yes.
name. I really like Blade Runner 2049,
I
which
haven't
is
seen that yet.
one of the movies where he doesn't talk a lot because he's a
Mm.
robot.
Yeah.
And I love that movie. He's so good in it. And then
Mhm.
it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I really liked
Drive.
that movie. Drive is okay.
Oh, okay. I love
Um,
that movie. Yeah.
Drive is good. I shouldn't just say Drive is. I like
Yeah.
brushed it aside. No, I like Drive. Um, it's the one where he's like kind of dorky and he has a relationship with a sex doll.
Oh, Lars and the Real Girl.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Oh, I forgot that was like him. Like
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in a while either. Yeah. Because he kind of had this phase where he was doing a lot of those like indie movies. Like I don't know if it was all around the same time, but like I think of that. I think of Blue Valentine. Is that the one?
I forgot about that with him and
Yeah.
Michelle Williams. I never saw
Yes.
it.
And he's playing the little ukulele. He's a very musical dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I feel like there was something else around that time that I really liked that he did. Um, I mean, I've always been a big Ryan Gosling fan. I love him. And I knew from day one that he was going to be iconic as Ken. I knew. I was a full supporter. I knew it. Oh, it's so good.
The casting was really good all around. I remember the early production shots of them in the neon and the
Yeah.
rollerblades.
That was my phone background for a while. I loved it so much. I was so excited. Oh my God. Because actually, like, I guess spoiler alert, like when I saw this movie for the first time in theaters, I wasn't like crazy about it. Like, I think I probably gave it like 3 stars or something. Like, I thought it was good. I cried a lot the first time when I saw it.
Mm.
But I was kind of like, eh. And then actually the second time I saw it in theaters, I think I almost liked it a little less. And but it was one of those things where like it was almost like the heart grows fonder with like distance because then I didn't watch it
Mm.
for a while and I couldn't like get it out of my head. And a huge
Mm.
part of that was like Ryan Gosling as Ken, like something about it just weaseled into my like brain. Like I couldn't get like, and I specifically the line in I'm Just Ken where he says, "Put your manly hand in mine." Something about that altered my like DNA. Like I don't know what it was. And then when I watched it, I think it helped. Like I watched it at home. I was with like my best friend, and I was like, you know what? I love it. It's I think my problem with it when I saw it in theaters is I was hoping it would just be like 10% more campy, like
Mm.
just like a little bit more campy. Um, but I've grown to love it for what it is, and the performances are hands down what sells it. You couldn't have done this movie, like you said, without Margot Robbie, obviously. And, I feel like you probably could have cast someone else as Ken. I know that there were other people considered, but I don't think any of them would have fully committed like Ryan Gosling did.
Oh, not at all. He's so good.
No,
He's
he
perfect.
he went method acting, and it's like the only time I'm okay with it.
And got really shredded.
Yeah, he's freaking ripped.
Like he
Yeah.
has these pectoral muscles that I didn't know. Like I didn't know they looked like that.
Right. I didn't know that could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible.
Your journey with Barbie is like my journey with the Nicki Minaj Ice Spice song that is in Barbie. At
Yeah.
first I heard it and I was like,
Ugh.
huh? And then I
Yeah.
listened to it again and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, I was listening to it on repeat in the car and I learned every
Yep.
single word.
Yeah. 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 The soundtrack is so good. I could listen to that Charlie XCX song. Oh my God. I sometimes when I'm on the treadmill, I just listen to that like 4 times in a row. And it just
That's a
gets
really
me.
good one.
Yeah. So good.
We also have America Ferrera in
Mhm.
this. She's the human who used to play with Barbie and is the catalyst for the whole thing.
Mhm.
Did you ever watch Ugly Betty?
I didn't.
That was her big breakthrough, I think.
Yeah.
And I was obsessed with it for like 2 or 3
Really?
seasons. Yeah.
Yeah. I know her mostly from Sisterhood with the Traveling Pants.
Okay.
That was my knowledge of her because I never watched Ugly Betty.
I missed the pants.
I liked the pants. Again, one of those movies where I feel like it just like popped up in my mind a lot. Like when I was younger, like anytime I put on a pair of jeans, I was like, who else can fit in these jeans? I was just like always thinking. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't by any means like I think I've only seen it once, maybe twice. It was by no means like a favorite movie of mine, but yeah, that's where I know her from, and I don't know if I've seen her in anything else. I know that she's been working, but I don't know if just maybe none of it appealed to me, or I can't even think of anything else.
She was in a movie that might have actually predated Ugly Betty
Mm.
called Real Women Have Curves.
Oh, okay.
And it's a young Mexican woman's coming of age story. I apologize if she's
Yeah.
not Mexican, but I think she is.
Yeah.
And in the movie. And what I found interesting is that a lot of people criticized Greta Gerwig's debut, Lady Bird,
Mm.
as being too similar to Real Women Have Curves.
Oh.
And maybe not necessarily criticizing her, Greta, but just the general rave reception of Lady Bird. Whereas the
Mm.
movie about the overweight Mexican girl was largely ignored. And
Interesting.
I thought that was really interesting that then Greta Gerwig cast America Ferrera in this movie. And I
Right.
wonder if they ever had a conversation about that.
Right. Or if, you know what, maybe like Greta watched, maybe she had never seen it before and she watched it and she
Mhm.
was like, damn, this America
Mhm.
Ferrera, get her in my next project. Interesting.
And while we're on the topic, we'll come back to the cast because there's one more person I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But Greta Gerwig,
Yep.
I've probably seen Lady Bird like 15 times.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I
I
went
didn't know you were such a fan.
yes. I went through a time where Lady Bird was my comfort movie, and
Really?
I watched it a lot.
I actually haven't seen it, and it's
Gasp.
because I'm afraid it will make me too emotional. So,
There's a couple parts in it that I broke down crying in, and I'm not a young woman, but there's a couple parts
what?
in it that I did. I know. But it's funny, I had the same, I made the joke about Nicki Minaj, but I had the same thing with Lady Bird that you had with
Mm,
Barbie, where the first time I watched it, I was kinda like, "That was fine." And then I
really?
watched it
Yeah.
again, and I'm like, "Do I like this?" And then, yeah, 12 times later, I'm like, "Oh, this is, like, one of my favorite movies ever made."
Hmm, hmm. Is I feel like I always Greta Gerwig was also in that Ty West movie, wasn't she? As an actress? Is that
Yes, she's in House of the Devil.
yes, that is actually really embarrassingly, I think the only other Greta Gerwig project I've seen.
I don't not think you should be embarrassed. House of the Devil is great.
It's a great movie, but I think like
And she's very good at it.
as a 30-year-old white woman, I feel like I should have maybe seen more Greta
Mm,
Gerwig, but yeah,
yeah, some Frances Ha.
yeah, right. But I haven't watched her Little Women yet for kind of the same reason. I'm afraid I'll like because I like Little Women, the book, the story. So I'm really afraid it'll just like make me super emotional. Um, but yeah, House of the Devil. That was a great project to be a part of. Good job.
I was so surprised when she popped up in that.
Yeah, yeah. And I think is it House of the Devil that also has like a Lena Dunham jump scare, or is that a different Ty West movie?
Sh
She's like a she's like a barista or something.
Yes, I think it is House of the Devil.
That's a weird cast.
What's funny, we talked on Creep about mumblecore and mumble gore, and I
Mm,
would say House of the Devil is mumble gore, so it makes
yes,
sense that Greta Gerwig is in it.
that is so true. That is very true.
And one of the most shocking things to me is what happens to her in that movie.
'Cause she's the friend, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I vaguely remember.
I don't want a House of the Devil spoiler in our
Yeah,
Barbie cast, but I
yeah.
was
And now I'm like, I kind of want to rewatch it to see Greta Gerwig.
maybe that's what I'll put on tonight and rewatch.
Yeah. Yeah, fall asleep to that.
But she's married to Noah Baumbach, who
hmm
co-wrote this with her. He did most recently, I think, was Marriage Story.
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
little ponderous for me at times.
Yeah, what was the really popular one he did before that? Because I don't know if I've seen a Noah um Baumbach. Baumbach or
I think
Baum
it's a
Baum Baum
Baumbach. Baumbach.
Baumbach. I
There
wanted to watch, oh, that's right. I wanted to watch White Noise because that was a book I liked.
Oh, and Greta Gerwig's in that too.
Was she? Oh, is she
I
the
think
wife?
so.
Like the
I think
mother?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I should watch that. Although I'm pretty sure most people didn't like it, but um, I'll put that on my watch list. Yeah, I don't have a lot of opinions on him, Mr. Noah.
I used to be a huge fan. Um,
Really?
yeah, I was really into The Squid and the Whale in 2005, which is an
Okay.
early Jesse Eisenberg movie, and
Oh.
it's a divorce movie that I
Hmm.
really liked. And then he did Fantastic Mr. Fox, which I didn't care for.
Oh, I like that movie, but
Oh no,
it's
he didn't. It popped up on Google. That's Wes Anderson. Totally different. Why is
yeah.
it in my Google for Noah Baumbach?
Oh, because I think he wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It looks like he wrote a couple, or at least was a part of a couple, because he's also has a writing credit for The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, the one with
Okay.
Bill Murray.
I was so
Yeah.
done by Wes Anderson by that point. I didn't see that one.
Interesting. He also has a writing credit on Madagascar 3.
I I got nothing.
I don't think I've ever made you speechless.
Wow.
Anyway, what a multifaceted guy.
A movie of his I really, really like is
Hmm.
called While We're Young, and
Hmm.
it's Ben Stiller, Naomi Watts, Adam Driver, and Amanda Seyfried.
Oh,
And uh,
oh, I remember this. It's like Ben Stiller and someone else is like a couple, and they become friends with like a younger couple, right?
mhm.
It's like a very midlife crisis kind of thing.
Yes, I
Yeah.
really like it. I thought it's very funny. It's very
Mm,
kind of cute. It gets a little contrived at the end,
okay.
but once I knew what was coming, I really started to like it. But
Hmm,
yeah, I used to be a huge fan of his for whatever
yeah.
reason. Um, and then last but not least, going back to the cast,
Yes.
I have to mention Michael Cera as Alan and
Yes.
the inventor of Cerave face wash,
Yeah.
or or at least his bizarre new left turn as the
Yes.
Cerave spokesperson.
Oh my God.
It just happened within like the last 2 weeks of us recording this.
I'm so happy he found his place in the world. Um, I love Michael Cera. I have loved him ever since Arrested Development. Um, he's just, and I was really worried that like in the trailers, he's like a comedic relief in an already very funny movie. And I find that a lot of times those characters just end up getting on your nerves a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
or just sort of like bogging things down or being very like stupid humor. But he just works really well in this movie. He's so cute. Um, he has a couple of lines that are just like again seared into my brain. He's very cute in this movie.
I liked him a lot as Alan,
Yeah.
and he has an iconic look.
Hmm. Yes. I had to, side note, I had to search to see who played Midge because the first time I watched this movie, the pregnant one, I thought it was Bryce Dallas Howard.
Who is
It
it?
looks
Is it anybody?
it's someone random. I don't know who she is. I don't know if she's been in anything else. Like I think she's maybe a dancer or something. Yeah, I don't know her from anything. But I thought it was Bryce Dallas Howard for a very, very long time.
Oh, this says that the person who played Midge was Emerald Fennell.
Who's that?
She's the director of Promising Young Woman and
Oh,
Saltburn.
stop it, really?
Yes.
That is so funny.
I had no
Um,
idea.
yeah, Emerald, yeah, writer of and director. Wow. Yeah, I didn't go far enough to see her writing and directing credit. That is so funny.
There's a podcast I used to listen to, and they would call her the promising young woman. And that just cracked me up every time. And I think of that every time I see her now.
Oh,
Promising young woman.
woman. I love that. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. If I could add one more person to the cast roster who I
Please.
absolutely love is he plays one of the Kens, Kingsley Ben Adir.
Okay.
Because I found out after the fact, after I watched the movie, he's the one who's sort of like Ryan Gosling, Ken's right hand man. He
Okay.
has that really funny scene where Ryan Gosling is playing the keyboard and he's kind of doing a fun little dance next to him.
Okay. I
Because
think he's
I
the
found
one that
oh, sorry.
Ryan Gosling gives the fur coat to at the end,
Yes,
right? Okay.
yeah, and he has that great speech with like a big bellowing voice. Because I found out after the fact that he is like a classically trained Shakespearean actor.
Oh, okay.
And it just makes it so much better, like watching it and seeing all the stupid shit he has to do. It's so good.
I love that.
Yeah, he
The
should have gotten nominated.
I don't know, the generative AI synopsis of him on Google
Yeah.
says that he is a British actor who has played a variety of roles, including former President Barack Obama and a Ken doll in the Barbie movie.
Boys, which are you? Former President Barack Obama or a Ken doll?
I love that.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, there's just so many great performances, so many great people. I mean, I could go on about Simu Liu, like um Kate McKinnon is even good in this, and sometimes she kind of rubs me the wrong way. She's so good in it. Um,
I'm aghast that I neglected to highlight her at the beginning.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Like she's great. She always has the splits.
She is with Margot Robbie in the movie Bombshell as well.
That's right. Which I haven't seen that, but I want to.
I really liked that movie. The Margot Robbie
Yeah.
scenes are really hard to watch because of what
Oh.
happens to her in it.
Yeah.
But there is an actress named Alana Ubach who plays Janine Pirro, the crazy,
yeah.
Judge Janine.
Yeah.
And Alana Ubach, have you ever seen the Brady Bunch movie from like 1995?
Yes, I have, but it's been a long time.
Alana Ubach plays Noreen, Marsha's probably lesbian friend.
Great.
And so she is fucking hilarious in the like 3 minutes she's on screen as Judge
Really?
Janine Pirro. But Kate McKinnon's character works for her. And in my fantasy, there's a spin-off sitcom of Kate McKinnon and Alana Ubach playing these two characters.
Oh,
That
that'd
was
be
like my
so
dream.
good. Yes. Oh my God.
So instead of talking about the whole plot of the movie, since this movie has made $1.6 billion, we are just going to assume that everyone has seen it.
Yeah.
And it's not really, it's not really a movie where the plot, I would say, matters.
Right.
But for the sake of our podcast, I wanted to highlight one part of the movie, which is when the Kens take over.
Yes.
Which is more of the movie than I realized when I went back to rewatch it. I thought it was a smaller part of the movie. And I'm like, oh, this is like the middle hour of the movie.
Yeah. I, in general, the first time I watched it, was really surprised at how much of the movie takes place in Barbie Land. I thought it was going to be primarily Barbie in the real world, but I mean, it's only like maybe 20 minutes that she's like in the, so yeah. And yeah, when she comes back, Barbie Land has become a Kendom. Is that what they call it? A Kendom.
Kendom Land.
Yeah, Kendom. Oh, it's wonderful.
And one of the lines I liked was, so the Barbies have been brainwashed. So instead of being a president and being doctor and being Supreme Court justice, they're all giving the Kens brewski beers and
Brewski
rubbing their
beers.
feet.
Yep.
And generally
I
being
love
their
rubbing his
servants
feet. Yeah.
and loving it. I love not having to make decisions. It's like a vacation
Yes.
for my brain.
It's like a vacation for my brain. I love that. And honestly, I get it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. And they decide that they're going to unbrainwash the Barbies
Mhm.
and get them back and then turn the Kens against each other. And I
Yeah.
forget who says it, but someone says Kenland holds the seeds to its own destruction.
Yes. Very
But
dramatic.
my favorite part of this sequence is when they've gotten Issa Rae back. Issa Rae plays President Barbie, who's probably
Mhm.
one of my favorite Barbies.
Yeah.
And they're talking about different ways to distract the Kens so they can take the Barbies back. And hers is to pretend she's never seen The Godfather before.
Oh my God. When I tell you I screamed in the theaters when I saw that scene. Oh my God. Can you start it over and talk through the whole movie?
That's my favorite line in the whole film.
Oh, good. Oh my God. It's so good. I like it when I think it's actually the actor who I brought up before, Ben, is showing, I can't remember which Barbie it is, but his like music collection. And he says something like super pretentious. He's like, yeah, it follows the post pop like stylings of Lou Reed. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yes.
Get it. Oh yeah. Or when Harry Neff Barbie, I can't remember like what her Barbie is.
She's the doctor.
The doctor, that's right. She's wearing just glasses. And Ryan Gosling is like working on a car and he comes out and he goes, and she's like kind of sitting there like, oh, I feel so ugly and unattractive. And he like pulls the glasses off and goes, there she is. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, I love it. I love it because it's not subtle. Like, and again, this is what I was talking about. Like, I love how this movie is campy and, I wish it was a little bit more, but like, it doesn't try to be like subtle.
No, not at all. It's a lot of fun. I mean, because
Yeah.
this came out in the summer, right? This was like a big summer. Oh,
Yeah.
of course it did, because it was the whole Barbenheimer thing.
Barbenheimer. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a big summer blockbuster, so it has to go broad, but I think it's smarter than a lot of broad comedies out there.
I agree. But yeah, Kendom, the Mojo Dojo Casa House is
That
what
was
the
also
Barbie house becomes.
That was also the name of someone in my building's Wi-Fi network for a while.
That's great. I want to hang out there.
I know. Like, who is this? I want to know in my building who's the
Right?
Mojo Dojo Casa house.
Yep. Mini fridges everywhere.
Yes. Lots of horse imagery.
Lots of horse imagery, just TVs playing like different horses and sports games. Yeah, really scary stuff, honestly.
The patriarchy.
Patriarchy, man. The patriarchy.
We're getting ahead of ourselves, but we'll just jump ahead to our Gothic roundup. We've I think
not?
our haunt is patriarchy in this case.
It is.
And I was trying to remember, I was like, I feel like we've said the haunt is patriarchy before. And we did for the 2019 Black Christmas.
That's hilarious. I had no idea those two movies were identically the same. I mean, I feel like kind of in a lot of ways, like the patriarchy has like seeped in. It's taken this, these happy sisterhood of women and disrupted their lives. Wow. Same movie. Greta Gerwig does it again, steals the movie idea.
I know. Maybe this means we'll get Imogen Poots in a Greta Gerwig movie.
Yay, I hope so.
That would be a good combo, I think. I haven't seen Pootsy in a while.
Yes, yeah. But yes, patriarchy is the haunt in a
Hmm.
very in a much more obvious way than it has ever been in any of the movies we've talked about.
Yes. And,
Yeah.
and I think it's for me, one of the things that exemplifies the patriarchy is where they play Matchbox 20's Push on guitar.
My favorite scene in the whole world. As someone whose first boyfriend was like a musician with an acoustic guitar, this scene had
Oh,
me on the floor dying. Oh my God. The amount of parties I went to when I was in my late teens and guys knew. I was actually surprised that I'm not surprised this is the song they went for because, we'll get into it, but the themes kind of deal with a lot of the movie.
hmm.
But I was also surprised that there wasn't any mention of Jumper by Third Eye Blind. That was a huge one. Or Blister in the Sun by Violent Femme. But the
Okay,
Violent Femmes.
yep.
Those three songs are like the white guy with the guitar songs. So I'm very glad they went with this one though. It's a phenomenal song.
I love Jumper, by the way, but I
Yeah.
love this song, but every time I think about it, I'm like, what is this song about?
Yeah. Yeah. What is it about?
Well, according to songfacts.com,
Ooh.
I know so much more about Matchbox 20's Push than I thought I ever would.
I'm so
Um,
excited.
so it says that Rob Thomas wrote this song about a high school girlfriend who vengefully broke up with him by giving his clothes to charity.
Wow. Could you imagine owning something from Rob Thomas?
You gave it away.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
oh, you bought it. Yeah, you bought it
Yeah.
at the.
What if you
Oh, I
bought it? Yeah.
know. And it says that at least one feminist group tried to ban the song, believing that it encouraged violence toward women. This failed when the band explained that it was about emotional rather than physical confrontation and dealt with female on male harm, not the other way around. Lead singer Rob Thomas had said that this is evident to anyone who listens to the lyrics and not just the chorus,
Ooh.
which clearly I've only been listening to the chorus.
Well, you know what's funny? And so this was the last song I picked in karaoke to sing. And literally, like you can ask my friends, all of you, ask my friends who I went to karaoke with. I was singing it and I was so confident in the chorus. And then when it got to the verses, I went, "Oh, I realize I don't know the words to the song." Yeah, yeah. I still to this day like could probably not sing the verses.
Well, yeah, I don't know any of the words to them, I
No.
don't think.
Yeah.
Um, but he says that he was writing about someone who was manipulating him, but instead of it being a
Mm.
victim song, he switched it around so that it was written from the first person.
Hmm. Interesting. I mean, I
But then
love Rob Thomas, so he can do
I
whatever he
used to think
wants.
he was such a cutie, and whenever it's like 100 degrees outside, I always say it's a
Yeah.
hot one, like 7 inches from the midday sun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's
That's
smooth.
that's how I know. That's when you know it's hot. When I start quoting Smooth, then
Yep.
you know it's really hot outside.
Yep. Rob Thomas was, I think, my sexual awakening
Ooh.
because there's a very specific music video. I don't wanna be lonely no more. You know that song? It was
I'm
like
sure I
not his most
do.
popular single, but I think it was like maybe his first single after he like officially did his own thing. But anyways, there's a part where
Oh.
he's shirtless. I think he has a jacket on though, and he kind of like sways his hips, and that was it. That was it for me. I
Oh
became a
my
woman that day.
goodness. I don't think I know that at all because I don't think I knew he had solo work.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I'm looking at pictures of Rob Thomas shirtless on my phone. I had forgotten how cute he was.
Yeah, he's a cutie. Actually, one of my best friends, Nicole. I don't know if she listens, but if she does, hi.
Hi,
Matchbox
Nicole.
20 was her favorite band and is still one of her favorite bands. And I think she might have seen them live. But if they ever come around again, I'm gonna buy his tickets.
That's a great choice.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, he said that on again, songfacts.com says that Rob Thomas had doubts about Push being in the Barbie movie
Really?
because Matchbox 20's reputation, it has a reputation as a band that's an easy target for mockery. And he said, when I got the call for Barbie, they told me Ken's by the fireside, he's playing the song, and it's his favorite band. So this is Rob Thomas talking. So I did this thinking I'd be the butt of the joke, and I was fine with that. I'm pretty thick-skinned. But Julie Greenwald from Atlantic Records came to the Hollywood Bowl a month or two ago. She had just seen the movie and was like, you come out of it loving Ken and loving Push. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, all right,
Oh.
really good.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of true. I mean, this movie definitely gave the song a second life. I mean, he probably made a shit ton of money off of, like this movie. I mean, and it's actually one of my favorite parts of the movie is when I think it is Ryan Gosling's Ken says it, or it's Simu Liu's when they're playing it and the Barbie goes, you know, oh, did you write this? And he goes, yes, I did. I love that part. So
that's so funny. That is reminding me. So in Noah Baumbach's Squid and the Whale, there is a scene where Jesse Eisenberg's character says he wrote a song, and it's like a Pink Floyd song. And
oh my God.
But he goes through like the talent show and everything saying that he wrote it.
It's like a common trope in their movies. I love it.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, we'll need to look for it next time you watch Lady Bird, which will be any day now. See if it happens.
Timothy Chalamet definitely plays a type of guy who would be talking about the Lou Reed music and the you know, wanting to talk through The Godfather, like he's that character.
Oh, great. Yeah,
that's
those are
funny.
Just the best.
Well, we have for our Gothic roundup, you know, in this dark Gothic movie, the pinkest Gothic movie.
Yeah.
Girl and guy, you know, Barbie, Ken, if we're going with this scenario.
Yeah. I mean, you could kind of reverse the roles in a lot of ways.
Go for it.
Ken, you know, he willingly jumped into Barbie's car and was you know, but he's the one who loves Barbie. He's the one who is, you know, when you look at like our traditional Gothic tropes, it's usually the guy is the guy in our, you know, definition is sort of the indifferent one, the one who doesn't have strong feelings towards the other character and kind of just uses the other character to get the ends to a mean. And it's a little bit different in this movie because Barbie is indifferent to Ken and also doesn't need to use him for anything either. Like she's just straight indifferent.
Right.
But you could look at it as that, you know, Ken is so head over heels for Barbie. He doesn't feel like he exists without Barbie. That's a huge theme of the movie is he's trying to find his self-identity. Both Barbie and Ken end the movie as very different people or things or whatever. But Ken especially, you know, he has to learn how to live without this other person, which I think is a big Gothic girl trope.
Finding independence,
finding who you are without someone else.
Wow.
He's a Gothic heroine. Yeah.
Ken is a Gothic heroine.
Yeah. You know, he is both the agitator, the sort of, you know, brings forth this change, this negative change, but at the same time too, he's sympathetic. He doesn't know exactly what he's doing. You know, he's naive, like a lot of Gothic heroines. Also, he likes horses. I feel like a lot of Gothic girls like horses.
Yeah, they be horse girls.
Yeah.
Sometimes because there are no cars, but still.
Yes. But he is, a lot of it just stems from he feels betrayed, he feels lonely, he feels despondent, and he's in love with Barbie. And, you know, he's just trying to find ways to reach out to Barbie.
I love this. I
Yeah.
love
So,
Ken as
but it could,
Gothic Girl.
yeah, but again, it could also be Barbie because Barbie is sort of thrust into, she literally gets thrusted into, she has to go to the real world. She starts dealing with all of these very complex human emotions. Um, she returns to what is supposed to be her safe haven, her home, her place of happiness, and it's been
Mm-hmm.
grossified by produce. So I think this is a really interesting one because I feel like the girl and the guy are like, oh, obviously interchangeable, like I'm saying, and both of them are negatively impacted by the haunt.
Mm-hmm. Aren't
Yeah,
we all?
both. Honestly, patriarchy, man,
Mm-hmm.
get that shit out of here.
No, I do like you talking about Ken as Gothic Girl.
Yeah,
And if like Mia Wasikowska had taken over Crimson Peak and made it her
yeah,
house, we would have been
right.
like, "Go girl, do it."
Exactly, exactly. Oh, and also, I mean, Ken, in one of my reviews, I said that, when I wear all black, I'm doing it in like a Ken dancing way and not in a gothic way. But maybe he's doing it in a gothic way. Maybe
Yeah,
he
he's
is
so.
very he's a and he's very sad boy a lot. He's very sad.
Yeah.
And he needs validation. He needs a lot of
Mm.
validation. I just like imagining Ryan Gosling's Ken as like this very like windswept, traditional gothic girl, and it's funny because one of my favorite episodes that we've ever done is Elvis, which is, sort of the precursor to this, because we land on Elvis is this classic gothic girl. And I swear I wasn't going into this trying to make Ken a gothic girl, but it's just kind of working that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in my opinion, like, I just love the idea of these movies. We kind of have to have fun with the way that we talk about them. And why not make the hunky men into the gothic girls?
I would totally buy Wuthering Heights, Ken.
Oh my god, that would be so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
I love that.
Yeah,
And then we haven't talked about the houses. There's all the cute Barbie
no,
dream houses.
they're so cute.
Lots of
They're so.
pink. Did you have a Barbie?
I had Barbies. I wasn't like huge into Barbies, but I definitely had them. I liked them, and I had a Barbie RV. Like it wasn't the camper.
Ooh.
It was literally like it was like a bus, and it folded out almost as like it almost looked like a caboodle, like if you're familiar with those. And
Oh,
it would fall
yes.
out, and then it would you could also hold your Barbies in there and stuff. And the only reason I remember it is because I remember one time I was playing on the side of one of my dad's softball games, and I was playing with my Barbies, and someone hit a pop fly, and it hit me in the head, and I got a concussion while I was playing Barbie.
Oh my goodness.
I know, but yeah. So I never had like a Barbie dream house. Like I didn't have the house, but the RV was really fun. Yeah,
Oh, I love that. I love a
yeah,
camper.
yeah. Did you have any experiences with like a Barbie?
No, my cousin
Yeah.
had a Barbie house,
Mm.
and I'm looking it up now to see if I can find it. It had an elevator, and you could turn a
Really?
little pulley, and it would go up
Yeah.
and go back down.
How
Um,
fun.
but I didn't really like Barbie
Mm.
because she was so big.
Yeah.
Um, like my toys were small. They were like
Yes.
5 inches tall, and Barbie's like
Yeah.
a foot tall.
They're
Um,
big toys.
I think this was the 1987 Barbie townhouse. It is over
Wow.
3 feet tall, and it says has masonite floors and a brownstone brick exterior. I'm sure it's cardboard done up to look like that.
It's literally nicer than what most townhouses are made out of now.
Yeah, look at this is your masonite floor here. It's literally like a
Ooh.
cardboard scene. Like it looks like a
Gorgeous.
drawing from a family circus Sunday comic.
Yeah.
But the elevator was so much fun. But
Yeah.
my little characters would be so little in the elevator.
Yeah.
So Barbie was too big. I didn't like that she wasn't articulated. She couldn't sit very easily.
That's true.
So yeah, I just wasn't a Barbie person.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, like I like them. I think I have some pictures of at one point when I was really young, not like a toddler, but like 4 or 5 maybe. I did have one of those Barbies that was like 2 or 3 feet tall. So it was like it could like stand next to me and I would take her with
Oh
me
my
everywhere. I don't know what
goodness.
happened to her. I probably left her somewhere. I was a very forgetful child.
There was a time in my life where I spent a lot of time looking for the America's Next Top Model Barbie, which was a real Barbie.
Was it a random person or was it like Tyra?
It was just a Barbie. It said
Oh.
top model, but it was just Barbie. I don't know. It
Oh.
wasn't a very good brand crossover.
Yeah.
But I was so into top
Incredible.
model, I would have bought the top model Barbie.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Well, anything else you wanted to share about Barbie's heavy gothic tropes before we decide if it's gothic?
Well, okay, I don't know. We do have a bonus gothic.
Yeah.
Ken is playing the keyboard. That counts as a piano, in my opinion.
You're right. It is an electric piano.
It's a piano.
Mm-hmm.
And then so what
Very
are our other
good spot.
bonus gothics is cats, like black cats. I don't think we have any of
Cats.
those.
Rocking chairs.
Romantic rivals. You kind of could with like Barbie and the Kens a little bit.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
Ryan Gosling Ken feels very insecure when compared to other Kens. So
yeah, all the Kens are rivals with each other.
exactly. So you could kind of say that. What am I missing? Do we have anything else?
Incest.
Incest. Luckily, I don't think there's any incest.
No.
They're really great. Sugar Daddy Ken with Weird Barbie. He's great.
Which was real.
And Magic Earring Ken. Great.
Yes. The really gay looking Ken.
Yeah, I love them. But yeah. So I mean we do have like kind of 2 bonus gothics too to throw in there. Yeah.
Something to consider.
Yeah.
So what do you think, drum roll?
I say yes. Why not? I don't know if it's right. It's probably wrong. But similar to Elvis, like I feel like you could make a connection. And it is a little bit like a meme, I feel like at this point. Like, just sure. Why not? Make Barbie super gothic. Like if I was taking it seriously, I'd probably say no, but I love the idea of watching it with that lens.
It is fun. I would say absolutely not. But it does raise the point though, like so much of the gothic in general is about the patriarchy. The patriarchy itself is gothic. We're all living in a gothic. We're all being manipulated by men who don't really love us.
Right.
Regardless of who they are.
Yes.
So in that sense it is.
Yeah. And I mean, I think for me, like it's more that like at the end of the movie, is it gothic? No, like I said, if I'm really taking it seriously, but I really encourage people to rewatch Barbie and think of it as this way. Like,
yes,
put that in your brain while you're watching it the next time. And I think it really adds like some fun context to it. And that's what I love about, like doing this podcast is like taking these movies that are not gothic at the end of the day, but having fun and talking about like the creepy, uncomfortable, weird aspects of them.
For sure. I would watch every movie like that now.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. It makes it so much
is.
more fun, I think. You
It
pay attention,
is.
like you said, to things in a different a different light,
Yeah,
whether it
yeah,
fits the mold or not.
right. And I just really want to see like bleach blonde Ryan Gosling wearing like one of those Victorian capes and standing
Mm.
on like a misty moor.
Mm-hmm.
And I want Margot Robbie as Barbie to like stroll up in like a 12-piece suit, you know. Sequel.
They're gonna do one, so we
Oh, are they?
can. I believe so. I think there
Oh
is gonna
wow.
be a sequel. Or am I
Oh,
making that up?
I don't know. I mean, I if I've heard of it, maybe I blocked it out of my memory because I don't really want them to. It's so lovely on its own.
I think I made it up. So we can be happy with
Well, I'm
that.
sure
I
there's someone out there saying that they want one or whatever.
There's got to be something. There's no way whoever is in charge of this movie saw $1.6 billion and
Yeah,
was like, you know what? We're done.
we're
We're
good.
good.
Yep.
Let's go home, guys.
Yep. If you're gonna make a sequel, at least make it super gothic.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Amanda. And thank you to our little pink ghosties for listening to us break down Barbie. Please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And leave us an email at sogothicpod@gmail.com. Or you can follow us on Instagram for hints about what we'll discuss next. Stay ghosty, everybody. Boo-bye.
Bye.